again. Did you find what you need? I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been... We asked for blessings, for good health. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. To hear it, it is rather long. Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine. And the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves. I'm pleased to hear it. It must be completed by dusk. It'll be between Centius. Why do you ask? I'm responsible for announcing it and making all of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course. That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election. By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course. All of the male Well, you're not a citizen yet. So, no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to by using... You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination. I like the idea, but I know Galerius well, and his position... It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd only ever run. So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate... As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But Yes. I have overheard. Very well. I'll get things...
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts. It does not notice the crowds that come. Say it. Speak its name. Then it is true. I was right. I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it? I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest. Friend, you have given me hope.
You're here. I'm so glad you decided to fit. And I hope I'm not being too forward. There's a light in... Coming on a bit. Let's just forget that. Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanish. All right, see ya. Back again. Certainly, for 10 denarii. Out of my way!
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you... Oh. Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival... I'll go, but once I'm...
You're here. And, there's a lot... Oh, I see. You prefer the company... I take back what I... Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least... Certainly. For 10 denarii. Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair, until one day she just... Now, she just stands around, caked in filth, muttering... I hear that if Malleolus is elected, he's going to throw a small...
pursue the stones.
There used to be a
Always
midwife here,
returns.
Naevia, but this place drove... Fortunately for us, she looked... Scintilla, the magistrate. How can we trust him? I heard Dacius has been offering a lot of... Have you seen the way Rufius... But then... I hear Galerius has a thing for Equitia, but of course she's a Vestal prick. Why do silly boys always want... I hear they're a blasphemous cult, some even... I've already told you everything I know, I'm afraid. Not for a few weeks now. All right.
many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Handsome. Oh, you're here. And there's... What was that? Let's just... Not... I remember the one word. All right.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve. Oh. Alright, let me see. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me...
Salve, Fred. Welcome to life under the Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We've all been where you... I used to lay awake at night, contemplate. I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. Even if I had seen it, and I'm not saying I have, I couldn't in good conscience give it... What you're doing is disgusting, and it's not going to... Even if I had seen it, and I'm not... All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing?
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please, help him. Thank...
If you're trying to make it easier for me to build up the nerve, it's working. I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Orpheus, no! I can't believe... That was not your fault. And I'd bet...
Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to... Thank you. I'm delighted and now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Did you just... That was either... Well... Look, if I had a Roman plaque in my possession, I'd be happy to sell it to you, but... My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than... And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural... Well, I am not... Unlikely, because it's simply... I trust you can see through the door this time.
You're not supposed... I should hope so. This is outrageous.
Why are you still here? An intriguing proposition. Go on. Perhaps you're not as silly as those clothes make you look. What makes you say that? You know, I may have the very thing you're looking for. Some time ago, when he still cared for me, he wrote me a... Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of. I confronted him about it, and I let it go, eventually, and yet... But... Wait a minute. Why exactly are you helping me? Oh, aren't you charming? I'm quite sure my husband would seethe with impotent rage if he overheard you say that. I love it. It seems our interests are aligned. I imagine knowing his true identity will give... But first, I need you to do something for me. I want you to bring me some wine. Just one small urn should do it. Oh, don't look at me like that. I know this must be hard for you to wrap. Let me tell you something about Malleolus. After all I've done for him, counselling him through his... He said it was for my own good, and that my drinking was Tonight, at his victory party, I'm going... I am so looking forward to it. You mean, aside from the fact that I'm... Because there's barely any left in the city. In fact, there's a... So you'll help me? Excellent. Now, you'll need to pay a visit to that... I expect you'll have to flatter her a bit. If that doesn't work, I heard they used to be close. They both appreciate... Thank you.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stalkers?
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold graying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you? Ah, you're here. And, there's a... Ugh, come... Let's just... I do, but I'm afraid it's not for sale. It's the... Really? That's your move? Unfortunately for you, nobody gets... What's that supposed to be? I do. Everything? Well, even if you could get into my locked cabinet, and you can't. Good eye. All right. I love your clothes. So exotic. You stay away from my money! Vote for Malleolus for a free drink at my tavern. Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock caput.
And lets out his threefold graying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you? you? And there's... Let's just... Everything? Really? What's that supposed to be? The riddle of the Sphinx? All right.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water.
How'd you do?
What are you doing in here? She needs the... It's too late. She was... And I... That... Then... Anywhere. So all... And now I'll never know who poisoned her. Or how they managed to do... Well, and get me... I don't care how you get... I so... Sure. Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the... Hemlock, I haven't seen her in months. Gladly. Oh no. Sorry. There was one other part, but that was Nevia. Anything about what? Acid, but absolute. I wish. Just don't get... I'm tired. Okay. Well, I really shouldn't say. He's become so... Really? That would be...
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune. You there? In fact, you've given me an idea for a scheme. Then you but make no mistake, but it might... Now. So, are you... Now I've gone and... It's just at the end of...
Is that you, partner? Do you have the bow? Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide it under the door for me and I'll unlock it for you. A little bit slow, aren't you? Yes, I locked you in, and until you give me my bow, you're gonna stay in there. No, technically, I never said that. It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference between a Oh, I do love a good loophole. You're just gonna have to take your chances, I'm afraid. The bow, now. And don't even think about giving me the fake. I would reconsider, but you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest. And they can be, you know, some say it takes 27 hornet stings to kill a man. But let's find out if they were right, shall we?
My beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walk down a corridor lined with golden statues, my beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me. A rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again, and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and, disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to be here.
And it kill me. Please.
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charge.
Kill me! Please.
My beloved Galatea, my attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing at me with all her strength and those sharp metal talons. This was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodame to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door. As I continued working on others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and after relocating a few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together, even if I have to free every last statue in this god's forsaken place. And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away. You're going to pay for that. And do you think I care about that? Liar! I locked and barred the gate. I left a mess, and now look at her. You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. All I wanted was to spend my last moments with her, to see her beauty. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped. What's so special about you? What do you mean, the same voice? Yes. I remember when they... But now that I think about it, they would... But if these bodies are mere conduits for that... Wait! I see what you're doing. You're trying to steal her away from me. Were you planning to wait until I'd done all the hard work, then swoop in? Is that it? Liar! You tried to steal her away. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't peel you, too. What? What are you talking about? Wait. So you're saying you weren't coming for us? So I did all this. I ruined her. For nothing. What have I done? Oh God, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of her being like this, and in so much pain. It's the air, coming into contact with her flesh. It's agonizing for them. But the only way to fix it will be to break the golden rule and let it run its course. At least that way she'd be golden again, and we'd be together. All it would take is one little cut. It's too late. There's nothing you can do. I have to do this. I'm sorry. What? Wind? What? How is that possible? The goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, of course. But I'm confused. If you've harnessed the secrets of the gods, why tell me? I see. Well, I'll trust you to honor our bargain. But if you don't, mark my words, I'll break the golden rule and kill you and everyone else in this city. As a quid pro quo, here is the only thing of value I have left. The key to the chest in the Shrine of Apollo. There should be something in there that's useful to Lucretia. Now, please leave. The door here leads out onto... Go, and never return.
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Well...
You? Who are you? Did he send you? But do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back. I'm Scintilla. I found a way out through the gate of... He wants to keep us all here forever. Or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. Sentius, my adoptive father. I don't know. He said behind me, there's an aqueduct tunnel bringing... The only problem is it's barred by a heavy lock. I'm going to take that key from around it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. There won't be enough time. There's no time. Wait. Oh, thank you. Now follow... Wait. Did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she? So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, it's a shame, really. You'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al. Come now. Surely you did... You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one loop to the next. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking he was a moralistic fellow. Never, and because of that fatal flaw, He relived this. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. The next time I awoke, you showed up. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of just the two. Not many, but don't worry. I'm sure there'll be another useful idiot who comes. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his. Better to end it all now. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown it, and as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all. I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself? Of course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule event. Man will always sin sooner or later. As I told you the first time we met, I found by reliving the same day over and over again forever. And I will continue living long after your dust. Do you really think you can take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow? Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, the only person to survive was Scintilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light. What? You're saying you were here? Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing, but I don't understand how I could have written it. I'm not following. So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this. I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape. That's a lot to take in. Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Scintilla used, if we can find it. I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple. You go on ahead. I'll be there soon. You go on ahead.
You're back! But... oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered, while we wait?
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead. Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know? As you wish. You were murdered. You were exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth. You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Charon's Opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here. Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferrymen for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin, I was to locate them and ferry them here. That is a question you would have to ask him, if that were still possible, in light of the path you have chosen. I am just his servant, doing his bidding. Only now, I find myself bereft of purpose. You see, the coins on you and Al were the last of the 1,000 in existence. There is nobody else to ferry here, nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course. I see no point in keeping you here, but I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was... Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
I don't know what became of you.
or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?